Welcome to this explainer. Today, I really want to share something deeply personal with you guys. Not too long ago, I hit an absolute wall. I'm talking crushing professional burnout. I was exhausted, totally stressed out, and just completely overwhelmed by the daily grind. But then, honestly, everything shifted for me. I discovered a way to apply ancient teachings, specifically the profound lessons from the Bhagavad Gita, but not as a religious text. Instead, I started using it as a modern mentorship toolkit. It literally changed how I operate, and today, I'm going to walk you through this exact mentor's blueprint.
Have you ever felt completely paralyzed by the success of your peers? Because I definitely have. Take a second and just reflect on your own workplace anxieties and insecurities. We all have that creeping fear of falling behind, right? That feeling that we're just not quite enough. And that fear can literally freeze you in your tracks. But when I learned to view these anxieties through the lens of a career mentor, it completely flipped my perspective and turned my deepest fears into a real source of strength.
Chapter 1. The Modern Professional's Battlefield. So to really understand this blueprint, we have to travel back thousands of years to a warrior named Arjuna. He was standing on this massive battlefield called Kurukshetra, and he was completely paralyzed by confusion and a devastating lack of meaning. Honestly, it's exactly like a modern executive facing a massive career crisis. But in our context today, Kurukshetra isn't ancient India. It's the office. It's the boardroom. Arjuna's incredible transformation happened because his mentor, Krishna, acted as a facilitator. He guided Arjuna to realize that our spiritual capacity is way more powerful than any daily heartbreaker dilemma we face. Simply put, you are bigger than your problems.
Chapter 2. Tolerating Success and Failure.
Okay, so once you realize your own inner strength, the next lesson hits on something we literally face every single day, which is navigating extreme highs and lows. This concept is brilliantly illustrated by extreme weather. Think about a brutal winter in Chicago at -27 degrees Celsius, compared to a scorching summer in Delhi at 43 degrees. The profound lesson here? Seasons change, but people don't stop performing their daily duties. We have to learn to treat our professional ups and downs exactly like the weather. You just adjust your coat and you push through.
Now here's where it gets kind of counterintuitive. Both failure and success are actually distractions. We all know how a crushing failure can completely derail our focus, right? But we rarely talk about how massive success in good times can equally distract us from our main purpose. When things are going great, we get super comfortable, our ego inflates, and we totally lose our edge. The real goal is to tolerate the high seasons and the low seasons with the exact same level of calm focus.
Chapter 3. Befriending Your Own Mind.
This brings us to a really fascinating lesson from the 6th chapter of the Gita. It says, your mind can be your greatest asset or your worst enemy, depending entirely on how you manage it. Take an untrained mind, for example. Just 25% of our daily thoughts are actually helpful, driving us forward. The other 75%? Pure internal sabotage and noise. That is a massive amount of mental energy being wasted on unhelpful anxiety, self-doubt, and excuses that are actively holding us back from our goals.
Let's look at a super relatable example. I call it the 5 a.m. battle. You set a goal to get fit, right? The alarm goes off. But an untrained mind instantly starts playing games. It says, you slept late, it's freezing outside, maybe this whole jogging thing isn't for you. And before you know it, you're giving in to the excuses and hitting snooze. In that exact moment, your mind just acted as an elite saboteur.
To actually override this internal saboteur, you have to actively train it through high-quality inputs. The mentor's blueprint suggests regular meditation, specifically to quiet down that internal noise and really lock in your focus. You want to pair that with reading challenging books, keeping the correct friends, and basically just choosing the right company. What you feed your mind directly determines whether it fights for you or against you on the battlefield.
Chapter 4. Overcoming Professional Envy. Now we're shifting to one of the absolute hardest, most toxic parts of corporate life, which is dealing with colleagues who are simply doing better than you in your exact field. It triggers all our deepest fears. This timeline lays out exactly how quickly things can devolve. Day 1, you see a peer's success. Day 2, you feel a little pang of insecurity. By day 3, that festers into outright jealousy. And tragically, by day 4, it can manifest as an actual urge to sabotage your coworker. It sounds crazy extreme, but this cycle happens in the corporate world all the time. It's a completely destructive path born entirely out of our own untrained minds.
To break this terrible cycle, my mentor shared a really profound piece of advice. He said, when you start appreciating that X factor as divinity, you can seek that inspiration to follow your aspiration. Think about it.
Whether you see a breathtaking sunset in nature or a colleague who is just an incredibly gifted speaker or leader, there is a certain X factor at play. So, instead of seeing a peer's gift as a personal threat to your ego, you can recognize it as a literal spark of divinity.
The crucial point here is that you have a stark choice. If you're envious or try to sabotage a competitor, you aren't just hurting them. You are actively insulting the higher power that gave them that gift in the first place. But if you choose to see the splendor of divinity in their success, you honor the gift. You drive pure inspiration, which fuels your own aspirations. It completely takes all the toxicity out of competition.
Chapter 5. Building Long-Term Resilience. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ancient wisdom today, but how do we actually make this stick in your immediate reality? Building resilience is definitely not a one-time event. I want you to take a deliberate moment of silence right now. Just pause. What is your biggest trigger today? Is it a difficult boss, a looming deadline? Evaluate your reaction right now. Are you letting the weather destroy you, or are you calmly adjusting your coat?
This all builds into a really practical daily resilience toolkit. Basically, a morning mindset checklist. Number 1, remember you are a spiritual being vastly bigger than your daily problems. Number 2, mentally prepare yourself to tolerate the weather of both success and failure calmly. Number 3, consciously curate your inputs today. Meditate, read, surround yourself with good people, and really befriend your mind. And number 4, actively look for that divine X factor in others to transform your peer envy into boundless inspiration.
I want to leave you with this final, really vital question. Will you let your mind be your enemy today, or will you actively train it to be your greatest ally on the battlefield? The modern workplace is incredibly tough, but you hold the blueprint now. Take control of your mind, find inspiration in the success of others, and just push through the weather. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this toolkit brings you the exact same clarity and calm it brought me. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.